Alright guys, the time has come. This is my first drive with the Simagic Direct Drive M10 10Nm direct drive from Simagic Dynamic. It's got a really solid quick release. I love that there's no cord going from the rim to the base. It's just all wireless. It's got a QR reader inside. Initial impressions, this thing feels fantastic. It's so smooth, so quiet, extremely fast. It's got just very responsive. It's just another level from all of the belt-driven wheels that I've drifted in the past. So right now we're on Dragon Range. It has been a long time since I've driven this track. I remember I used to like it, and I'm offline for today, so figured it might be a good time to revisit it. I'm in the M458 by John Gray. I like any BMW by John Gray. He is the BMW guru for modding in Assetto Corsa, and I'm a big fan of his work. So this wheel, everything just feels very heavy, very well built. The steering wheel weighs more than the one in my real car, for sure. All of the buttons have a very nice, like, satisfying click to them. The paddle shifters feel awesome. Like, listen to that click. Like, everything just feels very premium on it. And so let's get into why I picked this direct drive wheel. So I looked at a lot of the OSW solutions, and I watched the videos on how people set them up, and it just seemed like a lot of work. I was really interested in the AccuForce because it looked like the most complete solution on the market. It had the Sim Commander, I believe, software, and it just looked like a good complete package, and that was pretty appealing to me. I believe that one comes in at 13 Newton meters, and this one at 10, and I can't really see why anyone would need any more than 10. I don't think I'm using even a third of what this thing is capable of, and it's already way heavier than any TSPC or Fanatec I've ever used. But heavier in a good way. It's just super snappy and just feels awesome. It's a little more aggressive than even like real life. I'll probably do some fine tuning to get it to feel exactly like my real car, but right now I'm just kind of enjoying the novelty of being able to just crank this thing up way more than I've ever done without any clipping. That's another thing. Like, some belt-driven wheels, like your Fanatec's and your TSPCs, they can get really heavy, but you lose a lot of the information, like the road detail and things like your tires breaking traction, your brakes locking up, all of that stuff that your wheel would normally transmit when it's not exerting its peak force. It can't actually do while it's at max capacity, because it just can't output anything more than it's already doing, so you're losing a lot of that detail. You're not going to get that with direct drive. And again, just the silence of it. Like, if it has a fan at all, it sounds like it's not running, or it's super quiet, good quality fan. I'm not sure, but I can't hear a thing, which is really impressive for the amount of force that this thing is putting out. And so yeah, I was probably up and running in 10 minutes. Tyler gave me some recommended settings. I just put those in. I left my AC settings at the VDC T300 settings, and it's I don't know, it feels good. It's entirely drivable. as you can see, I'm not really struggling that much. I'm trying to do most of my steering with my feet because it's hard to fight this thing, so I'm just not even going to try. I'm just going to try and let my feet do all the work. Also really like this car too. Again, anything by John is just killer. I changed my handbrake up too. I added a bunch more resistance for really beefing those things up. Right now it's harder to pull than the hydro in my real car, but that's pretty cool. A lot of people are asking for a bit more resistance, so there you go. But you really gotta have a solid mounting solution if you're gonna put that much resistance into a handbrake. Otherwise, you're just gonna bend the entire metal. So yeah, back to the wheel. It's just feels awesome. Can't wait to play with it more. Do some grip driving with it. Try some more games, but in drifting. This, yeah, definitely best feeling wheel I've ever used. Can't compare it against other direct drives, but it blows everything belt driven out of the water, hands down. And I'm sure there's a lot more in it that I'll be able to get out with some more settings tweaks. This is a fun track. You don't really see it online, but it's definitely fun. I like the long sweeping bank corners. I'm not sure what else to say. It's hard to really make a comparison when it's just in a completely different league. Like, it just does everything better and smoother, and I will give the TX one thing that this doesn't have, which would be a nice feature, but it's hard because the base is a lot smaller. On my TX, there was a button on the base that I would use for teleporting back to pits. Obviously, there's no buttons on this base, and I kind of feel sketchy about sticking my hand back there anyway, with the amount of force this thing puts out. Could probably easily snap a finger or something if you happen to get your finger stuck in the wrong spot. So I'm gonna try and avoid that, and maybe use a button box somewhere else. Probably plug my Stream Deck back in, or might have some other things planned for that. But stay tuned for that. So yeah, this isn't my full review on this wheel. This is just some kind of first thoughts while I'm doing my first drive with it. You know, this seems like as good a time as any to wrap up this first thoughts. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Chris Wolf. If you want to be notified when that review comes out, feel free to subscribe, click the bell, all that good stuff. So there it is, Simagic Direct Drive. Very impressed. First thoughts, great product. Thanks.